Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. Their Excellencies, the Right Honourable Dame Patsy Reddy, Governor-General of New Zealand, and Sir David Gascoigne.
E honore he kororia he maungaru o ki runga ki te mata o te whenua. E whakaro pai ki ngā tangata katoa. Aro haina ngā teina me ngā tuakana e noho nei I rungi te whakaro tahi. Pai marite.
I ngā mana, I ngā reo, I ngā iwi o ngā hoe whā. Tēnei aku mihi nui ki a koutou. Nau mai haere mai rā ki te wharikawana. Kia ora tātou katoa. I specifically acknowledge the Honourable Ōpito William Seal, Minister of the Crown, our kuia Mrs. Ranui Narimu, our kaumātua Mr. Joe Harawira, tēnā koutou. And I offer a very special welcome to today's honours recipients. This morning we bring together 6 honours recipients along with their family and friends and the family of one recipient who is sadly deceased. And we recognise the contributions they've all made to our country. As Governor-General, I have the authority and the privilege, on behalf of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth, the Queen of New Zealand, to hold investitures for her and to confer honours, royal honours, our nation's highest honours, on individuals who've made exceptional contributions to their communities and to our country. Hosting an investiture ceremony is one of the most important duties that I perform as Governor-General, as it enables me to recognise and thank the recipients on behalf of all New Zealanders for helping to make Aotearoa New Zealand a better place to live. Some recipients have a national public profile, others are well known in their particular communities, but what they have in common is the impact they've made on the economic, environmental, social and cultural well-being of our nation. I hope this will be a memorable day for you and for your family, colleagues and friends who've come to witness your investiture and celebrate with you. As each recipient comes forward, ladies and gentlemen, I invite you to join me in thanking and congratulating them for their service to our country. Mr. Ward Carmel will now read citations for each recipient and invite them to come forward to receive their insignia.
Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of a Companion of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Dr. Kirsten Fanucan of Auckland for services to health, particularly paediatric heart surgery. Dr. Kirsten Fanucan has been Chief Surgeon of the Paediatric and Congenital Cardiac Service at Starship Hospital in Auckland for close to 20 years. This national service performs around 400 bypasses per year. She helped establish the Hearts for Kids Trust, which provides funds for repairs of simple congenital heart defects in Fijian babies and children, allowing them, through a single operation, to live life without the need for long-term medication or follow-up. She has led medical teams to Fiji to operate on children there who do not otherwise have access to heart surgery. Dr. Fanucan is one of 24 doctors and nurses on the Hearts for Kids Trust team who have taken annual leave to voluntarily work in the islands for 1 week on an annual basis. Dr. Kirsten Fanucan, please come forward. Excellency, to receive the insignia of an officer of the New Zealand Order of Merit. Awha Masanga Whaafusuanga Te Lesia Alepia of Auckland for services to Pacific early childhood education. Awha Masanga Whaafusuanga Te Lesia Alepia was New Zealand's national coordinator for the Home Interaction Programme for Parents and Youngsters, HIPPY. She was principal writer of the Pacific Islands Diploma of Early Childhood Education, PIECA. As head of centre at the Auckland College of Education, she led the delivery of the PIECA diploma. She was director of the Pacific Centre at the Faculty of Education and an advisory group member in the development of the Hariki Early Childhood National Curriculum and the Samoan Language Tayala curriculum. She advised the Ministry of Education about Pacific educational outcomes. She is now manager for the Rosebank Early Childhood Centre in Avondale. Awha Masanga Te Lesia was previously National Director of Preschool Education in Samoa and a teacher trainer for early childhood education in the Pacific Islands. Awha Masanga Whaafusuanga Te Lesia Alepia, please come forward. Distinguished Professor Marston Conder of Auckland for services to mathematics. Distinguished Professor Marston Conder has worked at the University of Auckland's Department of Mathematics since 1983 and is a world expert on the symmetry of discrete objects. He previously worked as Head of Department and Deputy Vice-Chancellor Research. He has been President of the New Zealand Mathematical Society, President of the Academy of the Royal Society of New Zealand, and a member of the Marsden Fund Council. He was involved with establishing the New Zealand Mathematics Research Institute and the Mathematics Centre of Research Excellence. He chaired the government committee that established the Performance-Based Research Fund for New Zealand tertiary education organisations. Professor Conder chaired the Science Advisory Panel for Plant and Food Research Limited and is a member of the steering committee of the Pacific Rim Mathematical Association. Distinguished Professor Marston Conder, please come forward. Dr. Tony O'Brien of Auckland for services to mental health nursing. Dr. Tony O'Brien is a mental health nurse, educator, researcher and writer who has contributed to the development of mental health nursing as a rigorous evidence-based profession. His research has changed the way the Mental Health, Compulsory Assessment and Treatment Act 1992 is used by registered nurses. He was a senior lecturer at the University of Auckland and is currently Associate Professor of Mental Health Nursing at the University of Waikato. He was the inaugural President of Te Ao Māramatanga, New Zealand College of Mental Health Nurses. Dr. O'Brien's research has led to the redevelopment of police operational guidelines for the use of tasers in mental health emergencies, and he is part of the community liaison group that the police consult with over the use of force and other issues. Dr. Tony O'Brien, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of a member of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Dr. Glenda Keem of Auckland for services to music and music education. Dr. Glenda Keem is a music scholar and composer. She is president of the International Society for Contemporary Music and former president of the Composers Association of New Zealand. She directed the 0903 Festival in Auckland and the 2020 ISCM, World New Music Days and Asian Composers League Festival, postponed to 2022. She co-curated the 2012 New Zealand in LA Festival in California. She designed, inaugurated and was director of Unitec's music program. She has held academic roles at the University of Auckland and is currently head of music at the University of Canterbury. Dr. Keem has published widely and helped organise a number of conferences. Dr. Glenda Keem, please come forward. The late Mr. William Karrison of Murupara for services to river and wildlife conservation. The late William Karrison has contributed to river restoration and freshwater species conservation for 35 years. This includes promoting, protecting and enhancing the survival of tuna eels, particularly the threatened native longfin tuna in the Rangitaiki River. He established the Kokopu Trust with the aim to improve tuna and native fish management by providing a catch and release for transferal over hydro dams, which affect the lifespan of eels and other native freshwater species. It is estimated that he has helped relocate 30 million tuna to date. Mr. Karrison delivered educational presentations and workshops to numerous school groups and university students. His insignia will be received by Mrs. Kuroha Karrison. Please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the Queen's Service Medal. Mr. Rowan Garrett of Kerepehi for services to brass band. Rowan Garrett has been a member of the Kerepehi Brass Band for more than 70 years, having been a foundation member in 1946 at 10 years old. He has served as the band master, chairman, president, vice president and committee member. He has been the band's librarian for many years and has undertaken maintenance on the band hall on a voluntary basis. He has played for brass bands across the Waikato and Bay of Plenty regions when additional players have been required. Mr. Garrett has also served on the Waikato Bay of Plenty Brass Band Association Executive Committee. Mr. Rowan Garrett, please come forward.
Acknowledging with Mr. Garrett that my father was also a foundation member of the Kerepehi Brass Band. It's a small world.
Your Excellency, the investiture has concluded.
Our honours system is our nation's highest public affirmation of outstanding individual achievement. It reinforces values and behaviours that sustain our communities and help our nation thrive and prosper. These include service, courage, manaakitanga, and the pursuit of knowledge and excellence. By using their talents to make ours a better society, whether by service to their communities or by their leadership in diverse fields of endeavour, or their commitment to excellence in their own field of expertise, our recipients have set a fine example to others. To our recipients, it's been a real privilege to hear your stories today. You've demonstrated determination, commitment and compassion in your daily lives. In your own way, each of you has helped to make Aotearoa New Zealand a better place. In some cases, your influence and the positive impact of your work has extended beyond our shores. Your actions and the stories we've heard bring to mind Sir Stephen Tyndall's words when he said, "The biggest thrill that anyone can get from creating something successful comes from putting something back." On behalf of all New Zealanders, I thank you for all that you have put back to make Aotearoa New Zealand a better place, whether by dedicating your lives to the public good, achieving distinction in your chosen field, or inspiring others with your leadership. Please wear your insignia with pride, knowing that your contributions are recognised and valued, and others are inspired by your work. Kia ora hui hui tātou katoa. Ladies and gentlemen, that almost brings to a close the formal part of today's ceremony, but before we break for refreshments, can I ask you to stand and join me in singing our national anthem? Thank you, everyone.